basically, I'm helping a friend with a potential employment tribunal, so I'm hoping to get your advice on whether we have a good claim or not. So the story is, a friend of mine was hired as a warehouse operative for quite a well-known online retailer. He was taken over the busy Christmas period, so as you would expect, they take more staff on, and then they release them after the busy period. But he was quite a good worker, and they extended his contract after the Christmas period for good work. They then extended his contract a further 2 times, basically because of good work again. There was talks about offering him a permanent role, and then he had a seizure. Following the seizure, him and his wife went to hospital to, see what the seizure was about. Turns out he had a brain tumour. So obviously he was a long-term sick. He was, part of his contract, eligible for income protection, but then shortly after the Christmas period came up, they terminated his contract, saying that they didn't need him anymore.
Sorry, I thought you said they renewed it 3 times after the Christmas period, or is this the following Christmas period?
Original, so this is the following Christmas period, the next year. So, as I say, as far as I could think, they should have terminated him on capability, but they just said, it's busy Christmas period, no longer need you on a fixed-term contract, out you go. We did get confirmation from the income protection that he would have been eligible for income protection. Is that breach of contract? Is that disability discrimination for failure to follow reasonable adjustments?
Well, it's quite possibly both. If he is contractually entitled to income protection and he is dismissed in circumstances where the effect of the dismissal is to deprive him of the benefit of income protection, then he will have a claim for breach of contract, because it's an implied term in employment contracts that you won't be dismissed if the impact of dismissing you deprives you of income protection benefits. There are some slight complications arising out of it being a fixed-term contract, but he's certainly got a claim, and it's one that he should take to a firm of solicitors, because I'm assuming this is a long-term disability. Is he able to get a new job? Is he fit to work?
No? Not for the next couple of years. He can no longer drive.
Okay, so he's got a couple of years loss of earnings there at least. It's also very probably a claim for, he probably also has a claim for disability discrimination. He's been discriminated against by not having his fixed term contract renewed for a reason associated with his disability, his absence from work. And it's a little more grey rather than black and white, but the chances are the very large company won't be able to justify that non-renewal, and they'll probably be liable for disability discrimination as well. Has he brought a claim within 3 months of the dismissal? Because that's the crucial date.
So we have got a preliminary hearing due in February, but I think we took them. Well, the claim was for disability discrimination. Didn't realise that they should have been breach of contract as well. Can we add that in, because we still haven't filled out the form to send back to the tribunal with which witnesses and what you need?
You can't. The tribunal doesn't have the right to hear breach of contract claims that are worth over £25,000, and I'm assuming this one will be. So you need to bring if you fail in the disability discrimination claim, your friend needs to bring a breach of contract claim in the civil courts. If he succeeds in the disability discrimination claim, he'll get all the same level of compensation anyway, in fact, probably more, because the disability discrimination claim will give him full salary, whereas the breach of contract claim for income protection will give him whatever the benefits would have been, typically 2/3 of salary.
Is there a time limit on
6 years? 6 years in the civil court.
Okay. So is it worth waiting to see what happens in the employment tribunal, or just do both?
I would wait to see what happens in the employment tribunal.